Listen, if you're ever out at a bar
Yeah.
and you meet a girl
I don't know where you're going with this.
and you're like, oh, hey, do you remember Animaniacs? And she's like,
no.
no, she's too young for you.
Whoops. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta. Yeah, you gotta.
Listen, check that ID. She is too young for you.
That's when you just put up the hand. Check.
Oh,
Yeah.
bring my bill. I don't know her. That's when Chris Hansen from Dateline NBC will walk
Pops
in like,
up. He's your bartender now.
why don't you have a seat?
So we have a trailer for a show that
If
we
you
thought
don't-
was dead and gone.
Yeah. If you don't remember this show,
Yeah. You're not old enough to do anything.
yeah. Listen, if you're ever out at a bar
Yeah.
and you meet a girl
I don't know where you're going with this.
and you're like, oh, hey, do you remember Animaniacs? And she's like, no, she's too young for you.
Whoops. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta. Yeah. You
Check,
gotta.
listen, check that ID. She is too young for you.
That's when you just put up the hand. Check.
Oh,
Yeah.
bring my bill. I don't know her. That's when Chris Hansen from Dateline NBC will walk
Pops
in like,
up. He's your bartender now.
why don't you have a seat? When Chris Hansen comes and tells you to have a seat, you're like,
It's over. Yeah.
Chris, I bought her a Bud Light. I'm sorry.
No, he's not trying to hear any of that. So yeah, Animaniacs is back. Let's just go through it real quick.
What are their names again? Wacko, Dottie, and
I really honestly forget.
I got 2 out of 3. Come on, you can't get any out of the
no,
3?
I can't get any. I have a terrible memory. I thought I told you that.
Duh.
Did I not?
So Wacko, Yakko, and Dottie.
Sure. I'll
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, why not? So basically Animaniacs is just like kind of like zany cartoon that it follows basically through. I don't even know what they are. What are they?
Are
Ferrets? What are they? I don't know what they are.
They're not They're not rats. Are
Yeah,
they
I don't think
cats?
they're rats. I don't think they're cats.
Are they ferrets?
Yeah, we can easily like look this up. I don't know why I'm trying to do it all
This
from
is
memory.
a great question.
Yeah.
We all know what Pinky and I cannot wait.
So Pinky and the Brain goes back.
Pinky and the Brain.
That's literally in my notes of things.
Oh,
So, but to give you guys the kind of like the quick synopsis. It's like the zany adventures of a trio of 1930s animated characters in modern world. So yeah, I don't know what the fuck they are. They're rats, cats, whatever the fuck they are. But basically, they're just like these trio of whatever they are, and they just go on these weird ass adventures where they use a lot of like pop culture references and talk about a lot of sort of the things that are currently happening in society. So this was created, or I guess very least directed by Tom Minton, as well as Wesley Wild, and it's got obviously a lot of writers that go on, and I think the entire all the original crew is back for this reiteration, and it originally
great
ran
phone
from
call.
yeah.
Hey, you want to make some money?
Get the band back
Doing
together.
some shit you used to do? Yes.
Why not?
Yes.
Been unemployed for the last 20 years.
Especially in 2020. Yes, I want to get back to work.
But from what I hear, they've been working on this for like a couple of years. But
Yeah, but that doesn't help my joke.
fair enough. I should have just kept it. I should have just left it alone. Yeah.
Kill my joke.
So this stars Jess Hamill, as well as Maurice LaMarche, Tress McNeil, as well as Rob Paulson, and is due out on November 20th of this particular year, and is of course coming out on Hulu. So as we watch the trailer, there's a lot of things you pick up from the trailer, just reminding you for one, just even stylistically, just how it looks, right? And Animaniacs had like a very distinct look. It wasn't like your typical kind of animated series. There's always just a twinge of just weirdness or oddness to it that didn't jive with all the other sort of animated sort of series. It kind of looked real, but it was also almost like a parody of real life in terms of it was almost like caricatures, where you see somebody drawing on the street or whatever, on a dock or whatever, and they draw everybody kind of like
when you go to Disney World or a theme park,
Exactly,
and someone does a quick drawing of you, that style of art.
Yeah.
Here's what I love most about watching this trailer is because I remember watching this show as a kid, right?
Yeah.
The trailer, for a second, I thought I was watching a recap of an old episode. The aesthetic of it, visually, it looks almost exactly like it did, years ago when we were kids, right?
Yeah.
I'm happy they didn't digitally enhance it.
Exactly.
They didn't try and animate it any more than it used to be to make it look more modern.
Yeah.
They're like, we're going to keep the same texture to this thing that it used to have, but we're going to update the I feel like the speed was a little bit faster, or maybe it's
I felt like it was the same, but it's just been a while since since we've seen it.
Or and it's maybe because we're adults, and like we can process the jokes and the comedy and the humor a little
Whereas
bit
when
faster.
you're a kid, it just goes over your head. So
Exactly.
You're
You're just like,
whatever.
they're silly and they're crazy,
Exactly.
but like there's and we talked about this before we started recording. The social commentary in this show, I mean, especially now, it is going to be fucking incredible. The in the way that South Park uses social commentary.
And honestly, I kind of like this better than South Park, because South Park's just very, exactly what South Park's trying to do. I think with Animaniacs, it's disguised, right? Like, so you just have these like zany things that happen, and it's all just like, it's almost like an inside joke, right? Like if you get it, you get it. Like South Park is kind of just like they're meaning to like, they mean to be.
Yeah, South Park wants you to understand it.
Exactly. Like
Animaniacs is just gonna be
like kind of doesn't really care.
We've already moved.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. And so when I was watching the trailer for this, I thought that it was, clearly the thing that they were doing is like, it's very meta, right? Like they're very self-referential in terms of like, are we, hey, do we just, are we interested in coming back for another season? Is it a cash grab? They're like, let's
all make money.
Exactly. And they were like upfront about that in the trailer. And, I thought that was fucking dope. And, it basically is the Animaniacs because it ran from 1993, I think, through 1998, I believe the original series ran from. And they basically like airlifted them at the end of 1998 to now, which I think is dope. They didn't just try to put them in now in terms of like, okay, they're just starting off cool. It's almost like they were like Captain America, like frozen in time. And now they just wake up and suddenly it's 2020 and now they have to deal with the world as it is now. That was kind of the flavor of the trailer, which I fucking loved. I thought it was just so dope.
What I thought was great was like, I mean, I don't fucking know their names, but I think it's like Wacko, right?
I'm going to
super
look
wild
this up
one.
because
look up their names. Yeah. He even referenced like going back.
How quickly you said that, as if I'm like your lackey. Like, yeah, look it up, lackey.
You fucking slave,
you fucking lackey,
you servant, peasant. But I love how like he even went back and found his sandwich. And like, if you know this show, if you know this cartoon, that was a big thing. And again, they didn't try and like, oh, it's 2020 now, like we're here. And like, they're like, again, they airlifted them to modern day. He's like, holy shit, where's my sandwich? Yeah. That for me made it all the more like, all right, this is going to be really good.
So you have Yakko, which is I believe the tall one.
I think I got that earlier, right? I got Yakko.
Maybe. You have Wacko.
Got Wacko.
Is the sandwich guy. And then you have Dot, which is
Dot. Is it Dot?
Dot. Yeah.
I said Dottie. Close enough.
Fucked it up. No, doesn't count.
No. It counts. It counts. Give me credit where credit is due. I feel like LeBron right now. That's my fourth ring.
I want my damn respect. So a lot of nice references, and then seeing Pinky in the Brain, I think was just like, I needed it.
They're going to be able to do so much with Pinky and the Brain.
Pinky and the Brain.
Take over the world. There are going to be so many Donald Trump references.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
I'm really fucking looking forward to it. It was really like it was one of the like thinking like until I saw the trailer, I literally had not thought about Animaniacs since like somewhere in the 90s, right? And seeing it just reminded me of just like how much I really liked it, and how much I actually looked forward to it, even though it was just like this weird offbeat sort of thing that wasn't really tied in. It wasn't like fucking X-Men or anything like that, where it's just like, all right, we got an entire universe. It was just fucking this weird ass little show, which was awesome. Just a couple of notes. So I didn't realize, or I've forgotten that Spielberg was actually the executive producer for the show.
Really?
Yeah. Because like, and just kind of like how we're seeing now, you see how like he would like make appearances in the show, like, and they would always do it at like the WB like lot, like they would always like have scenes there and shit. And I think the intro even was like part of like the WB lot. I'd forgotten that until like I just like started reading stuff about the show,
he's just gonna get another check, and like he probably has no idea.
This is what he does, man.
He's gonna be like,
Yeah,
I'm
Animaniacs.
Still getting paid.
That's
for
still
this?
thing.
What? He has no idea this is coming back.
Honey, we can go out to dinner
The
tonight.
check is just going to show. No, they don't go out to dinner. Honey, have them bring dinner to us. Tell them to close up tonight.
Yeah.
Bring the entire staff here.
It's I'm sure that's
a
what the
rich
Spielbergs are
joke.
like. Yeah. That I don't understand.
Yeah. I told it. I don't understand it.
Yeah. So again, Animaniacs is returning after what is that? From 98 to, so that's a 22 year, I guess, overlay.
Fuck. Damn.
Yeah, it's a 22 year overlay. So yeah, welcome back. Excited to see
feel
it.
old.
No, man, we got to get past this whole like naming shit from the 90s and then saying, oh, like I feel old because that thing's old. It's like, no, we're just,
No, listen.
We're
It's
getting
okay. It's like, listen, getting older. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, no, I actually like getting older, man. Like,
Embrace
could
it.
you imagine being fucking 16 again?
In with the technology available now, I would.
No, I would actually hate it. Come on, like, the online chats and fucking
I
people saying
remember
shit about you. Come on.
MySpace. Remember MySpace when you could like set the music to when people come on your page? You know what my music was?
What was that?
For the 99 and the 2000s.
See,
I don't even gotta say the rest.
Yeah, what is the rest? I don't even know what the fuck he says after that. He said something. Matt.
To back that thing up, but you had the edited version. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you probably got it off of fucking Napster. That's probably where you got it.
100%. Yep. LimeWire, Napster, BearShare. You know that
I do. I remember all that shit. Yeah, we kids now don't know how. And
Listen,
clearly I'm dating.
You know
myself.
who remembers the fucking Constitution or the amendments or whatever?
Yeah.
You know what you remember more than that? For the 99 and the 2000s. Listen, 1,000 years from now, when humanity has abandoned Earth because we've depleted all of its natural resources,
You still have
for the
the
2000s. It's gonna be like,
oh fuck.
that's gonna be what they remember from
Oh
Earth.
my god. And
Kids
honestly,
kids who are gonna have grown up
Yeah.
and been born on the space station
yeah.
are gonna like hear stories about Earth, and they're gonna be like, "Oh man, I wish I could have been there for the 9."
Oh,
We've
fuck.
got a show to do.
Yeah,
Stay
we
on
really
track.
do.
What are
We